New developments tied in the murders of a Valley couple who disappeared in May of 2017. 3 more people are under arrest tonight in connection now with the murders of Jonathan Reynoso and Audrey Moran.
The peaceful village of Lidworth, once quiet and unnoticed, became infamous after the sudden disappearance of childhood sweethearts Amy Pond and Rory Williams.
We begin here at 6 with a mystery on Long Island. This couple here hasn't been seen or heard from since March. And tonight, their neighbors and their family have no clue where they could be.
One day, they simply vanished without a trace.
Family members and friends of missing Valley couple Audrey Moran and Jonathan Reynoso are reacting to the news that 3 men have been arrested and accused of murdering the pair. It has been a case that we've been following through each new development since 2017.
Their car remained on the street, their house untouched, and no signs of a struggle were found. Extensive searches failed to yield any answers. Amy and Rory's disappearance remains one of the most perplexing and mysterious cases in modern history, with no explanation for their sudden absence. What happened to them? Amy's childhood, Amy Pond, born Amelia Jessica Pond, was not your typical child. Born in Scotland in 1989, her early years were marked by loneliness and imagination. When her family moved to the quiet village of Lidworth, Amy's childhood became more isolated. She had few friends, and her vivid imagination became her refuge. Amy often spoke of an imaginary friend she called the Raggedy Doctor. This strange figure, she insisted, was someone she had met one night when she was just 7 years old. According to her, he had appeared in her garden in a blue police box, fixing cracks in the walls and promising to return. While most children outgrow such fantasies, Amy never let go of her stories. She clung to them well beyond the point of normal childhood imagination, even though her Aunt Sharon, who often cared for her, found it troubling. The Raggedy Doctor wasn't just a product of her loneliness. For Amy, he was real, and she believed deeply in her connection to him. This unshakable belief set her apart from other children, and it remained a part of her throughout her life, leaving a mark that would later influence her future in unexpected ways. Rory's life. Rory Williams, in contrast to Amy, was known for his quiet and reserved nature. Born and raised in Lidworth, Rory was a compassionate soul, always willing to help others. Unlike Amy's adventurous spirit, Rory preferred the stability of a calm and predictable life. He found his calling in healthcare and trained to become a nurse, dedicating himself to caring for others. Rory's gentle demeanor and unwavering kindness made him liked by everyone in the village. But his life took a different direction when he met Amy. The pair grew up together in Lidworth, and despite their differences, their bond deepened over time. Rory was shy, and his reserved personality was the perfect complement to Amy's boldness and need for excitement. While Amy sought thrill and adventure, Rory was content with a life of stability and routine. Despite these contrasts, the two became inseparable, eventually falling in love. Rory's calm, grounded nature balanced Amy's more wild, unpredictable tendencies, and together, they seemed to complete each other. Their relationship, though not without its struggles, was built on a foundation of deep care and mutual respect. However, Rory's quiet life was about to change forever as his connection with Amy and the mysterious forces in her life began to pull him into a world far beyond anything he had ever imagined. The Black Cube incident in the 2010s, the world was shocked by the sudden appearance of mysterious black cubes. They appeared overnight, scattered across cities, towns, and even remote areas, silent, motionless, and completely inexplicable. No one knew where they came from or why they were there. At first, people brushed it off as a viral marketing stunt or a harmless puzzle. Social media buzzed with memes and challenges, but the cubes remained a curious, benign oddity. However, as time went on, the cubes started to show signs of life. They began to move on their own, flashing lights and, in some instances, even causing medical emergencies. This strange phenomenon quickly escalated from a simple mystery to a global crisis. Many believed that the cubes were part of a covert government experiment or some kind of high-tech corporate scheme gone wrong. Yet, no company or agency claimed responsibility. The activation of the cubes seemed random, and governments scrambled to offer explanations, settling on the theory that the cubes were harmless objects, activated by a rare atmospheric event. But this story never fully satisfied the public's suspicions. It was during this global chaos that Amy and Rory Williams were last seen. The couple had been among the many who found the cubes near their home in Lidworth. As the cubes activated, they were seen rushing out of their house, determined, as if they knew something others didn't. That was the last time anyone saw them. After that day, they vanished, leaving behind nothing but questions and a house untouched. Another unsolved piece in the puzzle of their disappearance. The mysterious doctor, at the heart of Amy Pond's life, was a figure who transcended the boundary between childhood fantasy and reality, the mysterious doctor. From a young age, Amy spoke of the Raggedy Doctor, an imaginary friend who she insisted was real. Her childhood stories painted him as a quirky man in a blue police box, someone who had appeared in her garden one night, fixing things and promising to return. This man, who once existed only in Amy's vivid imagination, would later become a central and unsettling figure in her adult life. As Amy grew older, the line between fantasy and reality began to blur. The doctor, once just a product of her youthful daydreams, reappeared in real life, strange and unexplainable. He was seen with Amy on several occasions, often at odd times and in bizarre circumstances. He would appear unexpectedly, dragging Rory away from their lives without explanation. Described as eccentric, always wearing shabby clothes, and constantly tied to a mysterious blue box, the doctor seemed to be more than just an imaginary friend. He became an enigma, appearing at critical moments, influencing Amy and Rory's decisions, and pulling them deeper into a life that seemed far from ordinary. The doctor's role in their lives raises troubling questions. Who exactly was he? How could Amy's childhood fantasy have become a living, breathing person? And what was his true connection to their disappearance? As Amy and Rory's relationship with the doctor deepened, it became clear that he was not just a curious figure from the past. He was something far more complex, and his presence seemed tied to the dark mystery that would later consume them. Theories and suspicion. The disappearance of Amy and Rory Williams has sparked a myriad of theories, each more troubling and complex than the last. Many have speculated that the couple's vanishing was not the result of a simple accident or a tragic event, but rather something far more sinister. One theory points to Rory himself, whose medical background and calm demeanor could have allowed him to mask any potential involvement in their disappearance. Could a domestic dispute between the two have spiraled out of control? Or was Rory simply another victim in a larger, more terrifying scheme? Others believe the doctor's mysterious influence on Amy and Rory was far darker than anyone could imagine. Was he manipulating them, leading them down a path that they couldn't escape? The doctor's repeated appearances in their lives, his odd behaviors, and his ties to the Black Cube incident only add to the suspicion. Was he involved in the couple's disappearance, or was he merely a bystander to a far-reaching conspiracy? Then there's the bizarre connection to the novel Melody Malone. The book, seemingly written long before Amy and Rory's disappearance, contains strange references to their lives, including a mysterious figure resembling the doctor. The fact that a story about their lives could have been written decades before they even existed raises questions about time itself. Could Amy and Rory have been caught in something much bigger? Something that defies the laws of time, reality, and logic? With no clear answers, the disappearance of Amy and Rory remains one of the most confounding mysteries of the modern era. Each theory brings with it more questions than answers, and as time goes on, the truth becomes ever more elusive. Were they victims of a greater force, or did they willingly vanish into a life beyond comprehension? Only the doctor knows, and he remains a figure shrouded in mystery, leaving everyone who once knew Amy and Rory to wonder, what really happened to them?